Okay. Okay. So what I wanted to do on the leader call was be able to use this, because I think if I remember correctly, the last time we had a call, we decided we were going to do 2 calls a month that are for our team, 1 leader call and 1 live event.
Coaching.
Right. Yeah. Yes, Rachel, it's going to be that way for the rest of our life. So on the leader call, I really want to, at least this month, figure out topics, because what Jody, all of you listened to Jody's call, right? From Team United from last week. Okay. So I think that if we start doing that with our team calls, and really have one person that's going to take that topic. What I liked about it, it was 30 minutes. So getting people to come on for an hour, even for us, is hard, right? So it's that commitment. So 30 minutes, even if it's a 15 or 20-minute call, I think we get hung up on the fact that we have to give all this content on every single call because it's only once a week or whatever. But in reality, you look at a call and it says 15 minutes, and sometimes you're like, I'm not going to listen to that today because I don't have 15 minutes, you know, on top of everything else you're doing. So I think if we keep them under 30 minutes, I think that's going to be a good thing. And it will be beneficial for people to be able to catch up on the call later or get on with us at the same time. But if we can come up with topics, then what I want to do is first take volunteers, like who wants to talk about that topic, and mastermind behind the scenes. So we can do it as little groups and say, hey, I had some information on this I'd like to give you for the call or whatever, and be able to, instead of having 2 people talk about it or 3 people talk about it, because then it just becomes this big conversation. And really what it needs to be is content given to you and for you to just start absorbing and writing down and going, okay, basically these calls should be calls kind of like National Wake Up Call, kind of like, you know, a lot of the other coach calls that you hear where it's just simply Trina. All she does is sit there and talk to a monitor, you know, and that's what they're doing. The difference here is that we're doing it on a Zoom. So yes, you have other people, you can get, you know, the people. And I think what we could also do is as we go through this, we can have one person that's doing the call and another person watching the comments, because the person giving the call really needs to be focused on what they're talking about. They're going to deliver content. They're going to do all that, and then have somebody else that's going to look at the comments, talk, you know, either catch everything in the comments that needs to be questions at the end or replied to while we're talking. I was on I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the National Association of Professional Women, the NAPW. I belong to them. I joined them probably 5 or 6 years ago, and it's like this at the time it was like this gigantic membership fee, and it's supposed to be it's supposed to be a network of women that are working professionals. You can be entrepreneurs, you can be working in the corporate world, whatever kind of job you want, and it's a collection of those people. It's all over the country, all over the nation. But then you had all these like perks, and there were conferences that you could go to. There's all kinds of webinars that you can join during the day, and then you can go to your local chapter. So like they have a local Denver chapter, they have even local chapters within the Denver chapter for the area and things like that. Well, one of the calls, like when I got onto some of them, they were very in tune with what we had been talking about. And when I got onto, I listened to one of their webinars, and it was literally this woman who she would put up like a poll, but it wasn't her doing it. Somebody else was moderating it for her. And so she'd ask that person, and they were just dialing into this webinar basically. But it was, to me, it was really good because she could focus on what she was talking about and not then have to worry about what everybody else was saying or what the results of the poll were that she was putting out and things like that. And that's something that maybe we can do as we're talking about these topics, have somebody moderate and put a poll out, you know, to everybody saying, you know, is this something that everybody is having problems with? And then it'll feed into that group and a discussion afterwards that we can do. So, okay, so let's just go down the list so I can get a better understanding of some of the topics that people put in. So Shakeology's Phoebe, so the surge, are you talking about like some of the most recent information that's come out about it?
Yeah, just sort of educating people about where it comes from, what it is, the different benefits of the different ingredients, Because I feel like I didn't know a whole lot about that until like a couple of months ago. And it's helped me have a lot more confidence about
talking.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it's hard to sit there. I mean, like we tell everybody, like, you're not necessarily selling a product. In my opinion, you're selling yourself, but you're also telling them that this is a product that you have used. Why do you use it? Why not? And you're telling somebody I use it because somebody told me to use it isn't a good answer. So
Right.
being able to have those tools and to be able to speak about it specifically for that person, especially when they say, I don't have energy, or I have issues with digestion, or I have, diabetes or something, and I see those topics all the time in the Team Rockstar Fit page, where people will say, I have a challenger who has this, is Shakeology safe for them? Most of the time, if you go and listen to those podcasts, or you go listen to, that hour-long spiel that he did, it covers most of that for you. I have challengers who ask me, if I were to get pregnant, what would that, is it something, obviously I lead with talk to your doctor first, but here are things that we've had and things like that. Okay. So basically just Shakeology, really like fine tuning what it is, the benefits of it, highlighting topics of it.
Right.
Okay. And then, okay. So your social media do's and don'ts, is that for your coaches?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And I think this is something actually that we should talk about more frequently than we think, because as new coaches come, the first thing you do, like you see a new post and somebody who's wanting to start coaching, especially if they've been a discount coach for a while, and then they start posting about things. It's so funny because I can see them and you can see how different that post is compared to like maybe a post you're doing now. And it's just because you get comfortable with what you're saying. You can see the, for lack of better words, uneasy, not knowing what to say. Like,
right.
How do I craft that post? And Trina talks a lot about, I go back to her a lot because she's been posting in Rockstar Fit a lot lately. And she helps her new coaches do their first post. Like she basically writes it for them. And I actually think I think it's good because it gets you, she obviously has people who do her graphics and all of that stuff, which none of us are at that point yet, but you can help them create a graphic, or you can give them a graphic tool and then have them create it and send it to you. And, I think we all get so thrown into we got to post something right now, instead of taking that time and working with them and saying, hey, let's craft this and let's make maybe a schedule. So like if you've only posted once a week in your past, let's try posting once a day. And what is it that you want to talk about every day? Mm-hmm. And maybe one of those days isn't anything about, your fitness or your health, but it's about your family because that's part of your life, and figuring and helping them figure that out. To a certain extent, you kind of have to figure it out for yourself, but at the same time, topics and then helping them craft that, I think would be good, for sure. Okay, so we'll put that on there. And then, okay, so I asked Rachel what hers meant. So her topic is keeping challengers motivated, not between challenges, but getting them into another challenge.
That was Michelle.
I'm sorry, did I say Rachel?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I meant Michelle. I read it too. I read Michelle, and
okay, that's okay.
Sorry. I'll get. Oh, you know what? You're right below her. That's fine. So does anybody else have that problem where you have? I have people who just do one challenge and they don't come back, and I have a hard time even getting them. Like you can tell they weren't ready to make that commitment. I feel like those that stay in the challenges then become your coaches, which is good. But I do feel like there's some that I have some that are in challenges that are never going to, like, they don't want to be a coach and they keep coming back.
I have that same thing go on, but who talks about it a lot is, I think it's Megan, no, not Megan E. Wilson. I can't think of her name, but she talks about keeping like your residual income coming from those HD orders.
Yeah.
And challengers engaged in every challenge. Because I have a bunch. I don't have a bunch. I have at least 2 that order every single month, and I've asked them to coach every single month, and they don't want to.
Do they come to your challenges every month though?
I add them to them.
Do they participate?
Like the past couple, they haven't really, but they have for almost 6 months.
Okay.
So I don't think that's a bad topic.
No, I think it's a great topic because I think that part of it is digging into being more comfortable about being a coach and helping people with their life. So like one of the things I do, which will go out tonight, it's the first week of our challenge group. It just like the starting of week 2, and they will all get an email or a message from me today asking them how their first week was, how often they want me to check in with them, basically one-on-one coaching them. I don't check in with them like that every day, but that way they can give me feedback. I have a lot actually that have given me pictures and measurements. They may not share it in the feed, but those people that do that tell me that they are committed and ready to make a change in their life. Some of them start very slow and they're, not sure and they're still stumbling or whatever. And then they get to the point where they're like, this is a lifestyle change. I realize this is going to take time. It's not going to be that quick fix kind of thing. So I think it's honing in on the people who, it's really learning to analyze people based on their actions and what they're doing, because analyzing people, it can be very hard over the internet, over a text message, over an email versus a face-to-face conversation. Even over the phone, it's hard to analyze people, but to be able to analyze them and see how much information you're getting from them, if you can get more information from them, then the chances are that they're going to actually trust you. They trusted you to start this process. Some people trust you to start it and don't trust you to continue with it. That's the problem, I think. Because they're either not seeing changes or what they expected isn't happening, but they're not willing to communicate that. So it's almost like you got to dig and ask those questions as you go. But yeah, we need to, you don't remember her name, Rachel?
No, it's Michelle Coach. She'll know who I'm talking about. She's the one with the super funky hair, like real short.
Okay.
I can't think of her name.
Ask Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle knows.
Okay.
Her favorite coach. She talks about it all the time.
Okay. Because if we can, look up some of that, then where'd baby go? Okay.
And I mean, I don't think there's a ton of content on it, but I have seen her YouTube page.
Okay.
Something about how to keep like growing your income, and that was one of the ways to like get rid of income, was to keep your HD customers. And when you lose them, you're not getting that income every month. And so I think it was like Micah Folsom, that's her name.
Oh, I'm going to see her in a couple weeks.
I think she did like a little group on her YouTube. Like she posted a bunch of, it was like a challenge group that they had within their team on how to build your income and like rate income. But she posted all the videos to YouTube like every day. So I subscribed to her channel, and so I got some of them.
Awesome.
And that was one thing. And like, that's such a smart idea. I mean, because that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point. But I've done that too, where I've just like let them go after.
Well, yeah, and it's hard because you ask, but you're not sure. You don't want to push people, but at the same time, like I'm actually getting ready to go through my entire list and ask people who all joined me last year that aren't doing anything this year and saying, okay, you're in month 3 of 2017. How are you feeling about your health and wellness? And usually that's all I do. How's your health and wellness journey going? And if anybody's going to let me know.
There's people that don't like to post to the group and they're scared to do that. And like, I have a bunch of those challenges last two. They have not posted at all. Well, that's not, I mean, they're hit and miss. They do it like sometimes. But one girl hasn't posted at all. And she's like thinking about maybe even coaching. But that I would never know that if I didn't. And so I've been trying once a week to like, and she's in this challenge again this month. She didn't get another challenge pack or anything, but I've just been adding all my HD people.
Yeah.
sometimes like, you know, they don't get back to me, so I just add them anyways.
Yeah.
Like, well,
Yeah.
just take yourself out if you don't want to do the challenge, but and then usually after they see that I added them, then they're like, oh, hey, I saw we had a challenge going. What's going on? Like, you know, it's been a while. Thank you for adding me, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and I think that's what happens. You know, people, it's a lifestyle, but for some people, the groups aren't a lifestyle, if that makes sense. And so I do have some that are hit and miss like that. And I have most of mine that aren't on HD have dropped off simply because, like, for various reasons, that it's like a short term kind of thing, but it's then made all of that residual go away. Like, there's nothing I can do with it.
well, and it's like, I think that's even in this last call, the Team Rockstar Fit call about the elite girls, Julianne is one that talks about it all the time. Like, she checks in with everybody every single day. And I mean, she doesn't work, you know,
Right.
but that's, she is built this business. That's why she doesn't work.
Right.
And so she does that every single day. And, you know, I think that I've been really trying to get back to that, because it's not, I mean, that's the whole point. And I think some people just need that accountability. Like, I feel like I if I don't check on them.
And that's what, because I couldn't do every day with everybody, because I just didn't have the time to do that, plus start conversations and, you know, invite people. I was having a hard time doing all that. I put it out there, for lack of better words, on them and said, how often do you want me to check in with you? Some people said, my weekends are the worst, check in with me on Saturday or Sunday. Some people said once a week. Some people never got back to me. And some said every day. Those that said every day, I checked in with them every day. So I gave them their choice, but I do agree with you. Like, I feel like, and it's not just checking in with how they're doing with their nutrition. It's, you see something on their Facebook page and you say, so how's your kid doing today? How is the family? You know, how are you feeling better? That kind of thing. Like, it's just checking in on their life.
I think a lot of that has to do too with like inviting, because I've been inviting this girl for like 3 months and she still has not bought a challenge pack, but like she's had some crazy stuff go on in her life. And like, I've just been asking her, every single time I message her, I don't go, hey, do you want to join my challenge? You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, hey, is your daughter okay? I saw that she fell off this play structure and like hurt her neck and all this crazy stuff. And it seriously is about building relationships. So that could be another topic.
Okay. I think that's a good topic.
I think a lot of times we miss that. And like the other day at work, tell me, you're so awesome with your Beachbody stuff. I tried it and I just felt like I was being a salesperson. And I told her, well, I don't really feel that way, because I just like to talk about what I like. And I'm also Julianne's mentality, like, delete me or join me. So, you know, and then I started thinking about it more, and I was like, well, she probably wasn't shown how to build a relationship. And I think that if you ask every single new coach, or most of the coaches in Rockstar Fit, not Rockstar Fit, but Team or Fight for Fit, they would say they don't know how to talk to people or what to say. And I think that for people like most of the people in the leader group, especially Jody, she's just good at it. She can just talk to anybody. And people are like that. And I feel like I kind of am like that in a way, but like I do get to that point where I'm like, okay, now we've reached like a stopping point in the conversation. What do I say? You know? But I think that is like the number one thing that probably all of them would ask is, what do I say? How do I not be a salesperson? You know? And like the thing about the scripts and everything is like, it doesn't sound like you, but I think for the couple times it's like helpful to have something to look at and be like, okay, this is how I should, like, I seriously think it'd be beneficial to go through a message, like if we each had a message that went really well of somebody that we don't, you know, and just showed them that, like,
I think the screenshots would be good. And I think if we took all of like on the, like you said, on the leader group, and took all of what has worked for us. Because to be honest with you, when I got the scripts, it was just one script. So you're right. It didn't sound like me. It made me feel like I was like, this is so not. And I did it because that's all I had. And it sort of worked. But I think if we showed here's different personalities and how our scripting is works, because by now you have your own script, right? Like you are still scripting. That's why some days when you send out invites, you feel icky because you've sent out 5 and they all sound the same, because they do. That's the point of it. But those 5 people don't understand. Like that's the only thing they got in their inbox. So they're like, oh, like this sounds really good. Like when I asked Steve about some of the stuff that I wrote, he was like, that doesn't sound bad. He was like, if I got that, message, I'd think like, hey, yeah, she's just checking in, seeing how things are going. And oh, by the way, have you seen what I've been doing? And as your life adjusts, then you have to adjust your script a little bit. But I think if we had different examples like that, I think it would be really good.
So maybe if we did like inviting and building relationships like together, and then like inviting do's and don'ts. Because the other day I got a message from this girl that I haven't seen since high school, which I do that too to people. Like I haven't seen someone from high school and I message them, but I don't just say, hey, I'm a Beachbody coach if you want to join my fit. And she did that with me only for through. She's like, just by the way, I'm selling leggings. And I was like, I haven't talked to you in 10 years.
Right.
And so I just deleted it.
Yeah, I get the same thing.
You don't even care about me. You don't care anything. Like even how I am. Hi, I wanted to be like, oh, hi, how are you? So. And
you can still ask somebody in that first conversation, even if you haven't talked to them in years, but you have to talk to them first in the conversation. And you have to have something that has happened to them in the last week of their Facebook page or whatever, how often they actually post, and then close it with that and put in the middle of it what you're talking about. And usually, if they're going to get back to you, then they will actually be like, oh, hey, and they'll answer all those other questions you had, plus the one you're talking about. Okay. So building relationships and then inviting do's and don'ts.
Yeah.
Okay. And then consistency was yours, Rachel?
Yes.
Consistency in the business?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
With anything in particular, or just inviting and...
Just the whole, like the vital behaviors, I guess.
Okay.
I just think a lot of times, did you see that video that I posted today?
No. I saw it, but I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
It's like 2 minutes. It's not even 2 minutes, but it was such a good analogy. He takes a bag of popcorn. He's like, this is what you're doing with your business. He puts it in the microwave. He puts it on 2 minutes. He puts it for 2 minutes, and then he goes and he opens it. And he opens it and closes it. And he did it like 3 times. And then he's like, the popcorn's not working. I guess I should just stop. And basically what he's saying is like, popcorn needs 2 minutes of consistent heat to heat up. Like you could do that for 25 years and it'll never pop.
Yeah.
So what you're doing is you go hard for 1 week and then stop, and then 1 week and stop. And I do that. I'm totally guilty of it.
I think maybe what we should do with that is whoever's going to take that topic, I'm going to add it to it, but go back to the compound effect and pull some things out of the book, because that's really what consistency is. And that is what your belief in the compound effect, and knowing that what you're doing today is building that, even though you don't see immediate changes. You have to take your business and look at it like your fitness and your nutrition. You can eat really good today and you're not going to have a 6-pack abs. You can eat really good for a month and probably still not have a 6-pack abs. But over time, if you continue to do that, you will eventually get there. The problem with this business for most people is that there is no, I'm going to make this amount of money in 6 months. There's no guarantee. So when people say, I've worked this hard for 3 months and I'm not seeing things change, the question is, what is their definition of working hard? What's your definition of working hard? And you don't want to compare yourself to other people, but at the same time, you have to start figuring out, am I making progress every month? If I'm moving my business forward every month, then I'm moving in the right direction. If I'm moving backwards, then maybe I'm not moving in the right direction. And you're going to have months that are, right, obviously not as good as the one previous, but go back and look at what you did, and did you put the same amount of effort in that month as you did on a month that was good? And so I think if we go back to the compound effect, it was funny because I was listening to Josh Coates today in our 1 week month, and he had released a video and he talked about the compound effect. So it made me think of that when you were talking about consistency, because it's the compound effect. And almost, I mean, if you apply it to every area of your life, I should have never let Steve even know it. I mean, he knew about that book, but I should have never talked to him about that book, because he's like, the dishwasher, if you would just put the things in the dishwasher, it would fill up and then it would get done if you just do the compound effect. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Small things. I know. It can backfire in your life. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's a good one. And it's hard because everybody talks, everybody says vital behavior, and you go through your list every day and you're like, yeah, okay, I get it, but it's just not happening for whatever reason.
And then I'm just as guilty, but I don't invite every single day. And so that's what I want to try and do that, or start a new conversation every day for the rest of the year and see where that gets me.
Yes.
Well, I did that. I was on the Team United call. It's been a long time. Shonda was co-coach. And 2 months in a row, I got Success Club 20 because I invited every single day, three people every row, and I didn't stop when I hit Success Club.
Yes.
And so that's, you hear that all the time, and I've been guilty of it too, is the whole belief thing. And well, I've been doing this for almost 2 years and I'm still not done. And I get all these I'm like, yeah, but I haven't been inviting.
Yeah.
And telling Jody, I can't find the one person that wants to do this with me, but I haven't been inviting.
No, and honestly, you may not know that person, until they get on your team. And so you have to, and to be honest with you, I did that in the entire month of January, and that was my biggest month. In February, I spent part of my time looking and landing a job, which was good, but it took away from me actually focusing on inviting every single day. And now that I've gotten through week 1 and I have somewhat of a clue of what I'm doing in my new job, now I can go back and say, okay, I'm going to invite every single day starting today, like you said. Because when I did that, the percent of people that are going to say yes to you, say it's only 1 to 3%. If you're only inviting one person or 3 people every other day or 3 times a week, you're limited to the amount of people that are going to say yes to you. And out of those people, how many of them are actually going to do it this month versus last month or whatever? So, and part of inviting is peppering in those people. I think I got to the point where I kept thinking, I have to find new people. Peppering in those people that you've invited in the past that kept telling you no. You've got to keep inviting them and put them on your list every single month, because eventually you you were one of them, Rachel, right? That said no, no, no.
Yeah.
Jody.
It was Shonda.
That's right.
I bought my shakes from my sister-in-law.
Right. So at that point, when you go back and look at your own story, mine's different. I bought from somebody I didn't really know. I mean, she was a Facebook friend, but she wasn't a close friend of mine. And then she quit right in the middle of my challenge. It was horrible. Right as I wanted to be a coach, she quit being a coach. I was like, so what's this all about? And so it was fine. But okay. So we'll do one on the vital behaviors, maybe one on inviting, and maybe we could do, we have a lot of inviting. I'll break that up and see if I can put it into different types of things for inviting. So not just being consistent with inviting, but how sometimes I think for some people it's determining who to invite, right? So half the problem is people sit there and they stare and they look at their monitor and they're like, I got an hour. And they spend 30 minutes trying to figure out who to invite. Now they only have 30 minutes to invite those people. Half the battle is figuring it out and just taking the plunge and saying, okay, these people, I can go through their Facebook page in 2 minutes, find something in there, write it, be done with it. If you have to go through their Facebook page and it takes you 15 minutes, put them on the back burner and find another time to do that. You know what I mean? Like if today is not a day that you're connecting with them that well. And then pepper in those people that you have been inviting, because that invite isn't going to take very long. It's just a continuing conversation that you've had with them about it. So I'll put that in there. Hey, Jess, did you have any that you wanted to add?
The only thing I put on there was like closing the sale, but that kind of has to do with, you know, being, building the relationship but kind of transitioning the conversation to a general conversation to the product and selling yourself and then closing the deal.
I think that's a very important distinction, because I have that problem a lot where like I'll start a conversation with somebody and we'll kind of like go off into like this totally other area, and I'm like, how do I get us back to where I want to be?
Yeah, or you just, you know, you don't want to just throw it in there, or, you know, but then you don't want a conversation to last 3 months either, you know, without getting anywhere.
I like the PS. Have you heard that?
I do that all the time.
I think it's the Shelly
Gonzalez.
She's one of the elite coaches this year too. That's what she does. She talks about it.
Yes, I'm running a challenge group next month if you're interested.
Yeah.
I use the PS in different ways. Depends on how I do it. Sometimes if I have something I want to say to them at the beginning that's about their life, then I say, hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but what I'm doing, you know, I don't know if you've noticed lately on Facebook about my coaching, blah, blah, blah. I'm running a group, you know, starting whatever, like small details. And then at the bottom, my PS is about them again.
Yeah.
So it depends on how you, like, you can use it in a bunch of different ways. You can do a whole thing about them and then just PS, hey, I have this going on, or depends on like how much you've talked to that person or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, she does it pretty like PS and running a.
He's so cute.
Does that when like in starting a message with someone she doesn't know too. She'll be like, PS, I saw your cute little baby. I have a baby too, or whatever it is.
Right.
But like I use it the other way sometimes too, though, because we'll be talking like that, and it's like way off tangent, and then I'll like send back to that, and then I do like, PS, or just like, hey, side note, have you heard about my challenges or seen my posts or la la la? Even if it's totally off subject, like you're talking, you know.
Well, and usually I put in there, I don't know if you've followed me lately or something like that, because then it makes them go, oh, I wonder what she's doing, whether they knew it or not. Then it makes them go check it out and at least look at your page and see if it's something that they're interested in. Okay, so it's not necessarily about the convo as far as like you've got the convo started. It's bringing them back to the real reason that you started a conversation with them. And then once you bring them back, I think what happens is then when they come back, sometimes you get too excited and then you hit them with too much information. And
well, yeah, and you don't want to say like go from, you know, building the relationship to a sales conversation.
Right.
I mean, even though it's sales, you still got to come across as still in their best interest.
Right. Okay. So maybe I'll look at for that one, maybe putting together like a page that we can share, screen share, that's like a scripting of like a conversation that went off track, and then how to bring that person back, and then what to do with that. I actually had one that happened like that, and it didn't happen all like within the same day or anything like that, but it was a girl I was talking to. It kind of got off track for a little bit. I didn't talk to her for like a month, and then I like messaged her back, and then literally within like an hour of talking to her, she had bought a challenge pack. It was crazy. I just was like, oh, I'll check in with her and see what she says. And she'd been following me, and she was finally ready to make that change, which was beneficial. But it was literally like I was selling me. I told her, you know, like, and I think at the beginning, which I've gotten so much more comfortable with, about guaranteeing that person that they will see change when you are their coach. All I'm guaranteeing is that you're seeing change. I'm not telling you what kind of change, but I guarantee you will see a change if you let me coach you. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to see a change if you buy this pack, and then they're like, so what does it take to sign up, kind of thing, and then they're like, okay, let's figure out what we're going to do with that. I have one that was like ready to do it. She's trying to do a job. I haven't talked to her in like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to talk to her this week because like, some of those people, I just let it sink in for a little bit and then come back and talk to them. But I agree with you, Jessica. It's not in a 3-month, you don't want it out there that long. Plus it's a lot to try to manage.
Well, some take that long, but you don't want that to be your average.
Right.
So.
Right. Yes.
Which I feel like mine are here lately.
Have you gone back to talk to any of the people that said no last month?
I'm starting to do that right now.
Okay.
I just did that today. I finally got through all of my new likes from my like page because I did a promotion thing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I got like 150 new likes.
Oh, cool.
So just in a couple days. So I went through and I messaged everyone. So
this is probably something that I could use some help with. So I run my personal page, but I'm really bad at running my business page. Primarily because I know the content, for lack of better words, isn't always supposed to be the same, or they say it shouldn't be the same or whatever. And I have more people following my personal page than I do my like page, but I know I need to put my like page as more of a priority than it currently is. But I think it's more of like figuring out how to share content between those pages. I used to be on Instagram and I kind of dropped all of that off because it's just a lot for me to try to manage right now. But, really trying to figure out what to post on each. I know what to post on my personal page. I'm fine with that. It's just my like page. I really don't know what the hell to do with. And I want to grow it, but then I'm afraid that if I grow it, like it sits there for like, I'll have stints where I'll have like 2 or 3 days where I won't put anything on there. And then I'm like, oh, I forgot I need to do something with that page. So
I post
I don't
the
know.
same.
Huh?
I post the same thing on both of them.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I post about the same. Some of like extra stuff I'll put on my personal that I don't put on my like, but.
Probably, people don't really notice because if it's posted like the same day, people just think it's like the same post. Like they might see it in different, like at different times of the day, but they're like, oh, this is the same post that I've already seen.
Well, yeah. I only have like 300 of my friends that follow my page and I have 950 likes.
Gotcha.
So there's a ton of people on there that don't see the stuff on my page.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So do you just copy it and then because I was doing that, do you just post it at the same time or do you schedule it for later?
No, I post it. Sometimes I even share it from my page.
I've seen that.
I've tried that, but I don't like how it looks on mine for some reason. But I just, as soon as I type it out before I hit post, I copy it and, post it on my personal or vice versa and then go the other one.
I used to be really good at that, and now I suck at it, and I just need to get back to doing it.
I think Raina Odell and Bonnie Engel had a call once together about recruiting, and they were like, somebody asked that, like, what do you post different? And they're like, we don't post different. What are you talking about? Like, that's double work.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I also even go back to my on this day thing, because I've been doing this for 2 years now, and I reuse posts. It's been a year. Nobody remembers that.
No, they're not going to remember it from like 3 months ago, even because half those people didn't see it 3 months ago.
Yeah, I just put a new picture and I just reuse it.
It's a good idea.
Especially if it was a post that did well.
Okay. I really wish I had the on this day. I finally downloaded Timehop so I could be somewhat involved with the Facebook on this day, but they still won't give it to me.
Why?
I don't know. I have never, ever gotten it. And every time I go to get it, it tells me, you're one of those people that Facebook is not letting have it right now. Mm-hmm.
really
Steve has
weird.
them all the time. I'm like, great. So I make him like share all the stuff about the kids because I don't have any of it.
That's weird.
It is weird.
It's saving me lately because I've been like, shoot, I don't know what to post. Today, one of mine was from last year, actually.
I should actually go back to Time Hop now because I need to just like, if I do it, it's kind of the same thing, but it doesn't share the same way. So I'd have to like,
Yeah, it looks different.
it looks different, but I could at least like pick like my first picture that I posted from like my first, you know, challenge group or whatever, which should be coming up here very shortly, you know, and like put that kind of stuff out there and see what it says. That would be good though too, just to be like, hey, it's been a year.
Like, I don't just like share it as on this day. I usually copy the
Right.
content.
And just redo the content.
Yeah.
The cool part with Time Hop is it gives you the text too. So like you can at least copy that into like a Word document or something. Okay. Is there anything else that anybody had that you want me to add that you thought of? They're good topics.
No, I can't think of anything. I mean, besides, like, I put on their tracking, but I don't know whether we could talk about it for 20 minutes. And then I also put on their recruiting, which is not my strong point. But I think Jody should talk about that, but
Yeah, how are we going to choose who talks about what?
I'm going to put it out there and then let you guys volunteer. And then whatever we don't have volunteers for, then we'll figure that out.
Okay.
So,
So what's next week? Is next week our coaching sneak peek?
yes.
Okay.
so
Yes.
is it coach per thing?
Huh?
Is it one person per topic, you said?
Yeah, I think that would be good. And then if we want to do, if there's two people that want to do the same topic, you can certainly get together and collaborate on it. And then maybe the other one can be the, like, for lack of better words, a moderator on it and like add more value to the comment section, you know, of the call, and put together some stuff. You know, I don't think anything needs to be like slides and stuff like that as much as it really just needs to be from your heart and talking about what it is. I mean, I think that's really valuable to people, and most everybody brings a pen and a pad to the call, and we'll write all of it down or when they listen to it or whatever. But yeah, I think some of them we could probably even do. I mean, a live event. If we went live in the page, I thought about doing that too, to allow people to hop on live, because it would be no different than scheduling something like this. But it would allow you to have people just be on and have like the comments going, and then you can save that to your phone, and then we can repost it as a saved, or it saves to the page actually.
Yeah, that might be a little bit more administratively easy. And you also wouldn't have the issue that sometimes happens where like somebody's child is crying in the background because they're not muted or whatever. Like,
yeah. I mean, most of Trina's calls, everything that she puts up there, they're all live or recorded that she's done herself and then just posted to the page, versus having everybody hop on a Zoom, especially if, you know, it all depends on how much we're wanting to answer questions versus providing content.
Like, I thought this was for the team calls.
It is.
Okay.
But it depends on how you want to run a team call. There's plenty of team calls out there that are run not on a Zoom. They're just run where they're talking and there's nobody, like you can't even see anybody. Like if you do Google Hangouts actually lets you, I think Google Hangouts lets you see other people. I can't remember. But if you're doing either just a video, or there's another one that you can get on, but it doesn't let you see anybody. Sometimes I wonder how, like you said, like administratively, sometimes it can be better, and we can try different things where it's a team call, but it's a live team call. As far as content being delivered,
it would be administratively easier, but I do think there is some sort of like, I don't know, like there's an accountability
value
if it's a Zoom. But I don't know.
I think there's just things to try and see
Yeah.
what happens
Yeah.
and see. I am of the mindset, and this comes from corporate world. You see a lot of businesses that are run, and you go in and you say, how do you do that? And they tell you, and you look at it and you're like, okay. And you say, why are you doing that? Because we've always done it.
Yep.
So
I don't think it has to be Zoom.
no.
And I like the other stuff like the Google Hangout, and I think we need to branch out that way. But I think I like the idea of live for some things, but I don't know. The team call, I just feel like Phoebe's saying, like everyone's been like, I'll just watch it later.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree. So let me look into Google Hangouts and just some other things just to see what we can, like what would be just new, you know what I mean? Something different.
Like I think that the Facebook Lives are awesome for when you're just like fired up, and like Trina does that too, but think about her team calls.
Yeah.
They're always recorded in Vimeo or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? Or YouTube or whatever it is.
Right.
I think the one downside to the live is that it's not really tangible.
Right.
We can't save it forever and
True.
reuse it, you know?
Yeah. Well, you can, because once you go live, once you do it on your phone, you can download it to your phone and then you can upload that to YouTube. I mean, you can do that as far as, I mean.
So I get so distracted by the comments. Like if I was doing that, I'd be like, what? What is that say? And then I'd start it, and then our video would be like me going, I don't know what you mean.
You're funny.
Dang.
You're funny. I mean, obviously for the first ones, we'll still do Zoom because we have it. But I'm going to provide this Zoom link to all of them simply because it is my paid account. The one that Jody keeps putting out there is not a paid number because it keeps ending after 40 minutes.
I'm not happy with how much data this uses.
Are you on a data plan?
Not on my phone, on my computer.
No, you are?
We had to take, yes, it saves it. You don't even know.
You're talking about the space that it takes, the amount of gig that it takes. Yeah.
It's like we had to take our laptop to Mac, and they were like, my husband brought it home and he's like, it's some like Zoom US thing. And I was like,
yeah, but you know why, Rachel? It's not the actual application that takes up all that space. Well, you haven't recorded any, have you?
the ones I did, I put on YouTube.
But did you delete them on the Mac?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're embedded into like a big long string of where they actually exist. Here, let me stop recording us. We're kind of done. Hang on.
Hi guys.